I am one of 9 in the O'Connor family. I was adopted when I was 5. I came into the O'Connor's family when I was about 2.5 months old because my mother pretty much abandoned me and my sister when my sister was 18 months old. I was 2.5 months old, so we came immediately to the O'Connor family. It took us 5 years to get adopted. And during that time, my parents kind of noticed that there was something a little off between two of us. I slept for 24 hours a day and didn't really wake up unless I was woken up to eat. So I got an early diagnosis at the age of 3, which was really important because then I got early intervention involved. I got a lot of speech therapy, occupational therapy, really helped me to just get a grasp on life, really. If I was in like an English class and they were talking about a book I wasn't particularly interested in, just started a lecture, I just like start thinking of like crazy stuff, like, oh, what did I eat for breakfast this morning? And just totally divert myself from what was going on in the classroom. And then by the time class wrapped up and I have a homework assignment, I'd be like, uh-oh. I had this thing where I would count the tiles on the ceiling in my classroom, especially if I was extremely nervous about, so I just start counting them. If I was given 2 hours, I would try to cram as much in, and if I didn't finish, I'd be so frustrated, I wouldn't get through the test. So eventually my IEP called for me to get extended time, so I was able to complete tests to the best of my ability, and I was actually taken out of the classroom, which helped a lot because all the distractions are just removed and I could complete my tests. When I got through high school, what really helped me was I was involved with sports. I did basketball and softball, but I found that I could not memorize plays in basketball, so I sat the bench quite a bit, and they kind of just put me in, like, get the ball, Jazz. And I got the ball and I would score. Did really, really well, graduated, yay. First in my biological family, by the way. And by the time I got to college, I hit a big speed bump because I was roomed with 2 alcoholics. Upon moving in, they were drunk and really would just drink all day, every day. So I ended up dropping out of college because of it. Shortly after college, I got pregnant with my son. And he's gonna be 2 in a few weeks, and that's a really big struggle. I have my support set up. My mom, she really helps me out. She watches him a lot while I work. I work 2 jobs. I'm a housekeeper for a nursing home. I also work in a deli. I called my mother a lot because she raised 9 kids, So I'm constantly, to this day, on the phone with my mom. I'm like, he's doing this. Is that normal? What should I do? How do I approach this? Me having that FASD, I know I don't have the answers. You know what I mean? And I have that disadvantage. I'm very concrete. I'm like, okay, this is the problem. What's the solution? And babies aren't that black and white. You can't. It's not always okay. This is the solution. It might take you months, years to find the solution. But I think the biggest thing that helped me was asking for help. Working in a deli is pretty much one of the hardest things I've ever done because you have a lot of tasks and they're not written down in front of you. I can only work at night, because that way all the stuff that's supposed to be put out, because in the deli you also put out cheese and salads, pre-baked pizzas and all this other stuff, all that's already done. So all I have to do is focus on a couple things. And I mean, it's really hard. I had to find a job that would accommodate me like that. But before I worked at Wendy's, I had to do everything. It was just really overwhelming. I can't ever have an office job. I would go nuts. I'd be like, yeah, when's break? I definitely have to have a job where you're constantly moving. It's just, that's how I don't know, I just do things. I appear normal. I can express myself well, but certain situations I definitely misread that most people don't misread. I might think that you're mad at me, but you might have just been joking with me. You know what I'm saying? And I think some people that don't know me but do know about FAS, they think that I'm more affected than I am, so they talk to me really slow and like, do you understand? And it's frustrating. I'm like, you don't have to do that. It's like, I know you're trying to be nice and everything, but like, treat them like a person, okay? Like, you wouldn't talk to your friends like that. Well, I found out that I was pregnant when I was almost 4 months pregnant. And I kind of knew throughout the time that I was, because I just felt different. And the doctor asked me a serious question. She's like, do you smoke? I'm like, nope, I don't smoke. And she's like, do you drink? I'm like, no, I don't drink. She's like, well, okay, but a glass of wine is okay. I mean, just as long as you don't overdo it, like drink every day. I'm like, no, I can't drink. That's a horrible message to send. And I took the time. I'm like, you realize that on my medical records, it says I'm diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome, right? She's like, hold on a second. She looked through my file and actually had to look for it. She's like, oh my God, you're right. I'm like, why would you tell me a glass of wine is okay to drink? Now, would you tell an alcoholic that? No, and she's like, absolutely not. I'm like, well, you need to have that mind frame always with a pregnant woman. If you wouldn't tell an alcoholic person that, you wouldn't want to tell a pregnant person that. Okay, you need to have that mind frame. And she's like, oh my God, it's definitely something I need to think about. And I want to tell you that I never told my mom that because I don't know why I never told my mom that, but yeah. I don't know, maybe because I was embarrassed. I just want people to know that they are people, okay? Even though they might do outrageous things, they might say the most ridiculous stories or whatever, but you kind of have to see past that and just know in your heart that they are people and they have souls. And to not just disregard them because they say something weird or have a weird behavior. Don't overlook them like that. I think that's the most important message. And because I have so much love for those kind of people. They have like the special place in my heart.